The national news cameras packed up and the headlines faded years ago, but Flint residents are still living with a poisoned water infrastructure. For Amber Hasan, raising her children in this environment forced a harsh realization. She was trying to build a family inside a municipal system that was structurally designed to fail them. Refusing to accept that reality, Amber packed up and relocated her family to Puerto Rico to find safety and clean water. But that safety was shattered almost immediately. Hurricane Maria made landfall on the island, directly trailing her escape from the water crisis. In the chaotic aftermath of the storm, communication grids went completely dark. For Amber, the blackout meant an agonizing physical separation from her youngest child, with no way to know if they were safe. These back-to-back environmental disasters expose a terrifying reality. When city pipes run with poison and federal infrastructure collapses after a storm, displaced families are left completely to their own devices to survive. Navigating that total collapse of protection triggered a pivot. Amber returned to Flint, shifting her focus from seeking a safe refuge to engineering a system of resistance. Alongside fellow artist Shay Cobb, she formed the Sister Tour. It is a grassroots arts and healing collective spearheaded entirely by women of color, operating with virtually zero capital. They immediately faced a massive logistical hurdle to mobilize a community without municipal funding, traditional grants, or institutional backing. This diagram illustrates their solution, the ant model. Like ant colonies building structures with immediate materials, the A stands for accessible tools, weaponizing cell phones instead of waiting for funding. The N is for network, establishing rapid, decentralized communication to bypass gatekeepers. This framework flips the dynamic of crisis response. Marginalized populations stop being passive victims waiting on infrastructure to be fixed and become the active resource engineers of their own recovery. To see how this theory actually operates on the ground, we can look at their physical activation back in Flint. The collective put their network to work, securing a partnership with acclaimed photojournalist LaToya Ruby Frazier to validate their struggle and project it to a wider audience. That expanded network led them to the Moses West Foundation and their atmospheric water generator. This machine pulls ambient moisture directly from the air, filters it, and condenses it into pure, safe drinking water, avoiding Flint's toxic pipes entirely. The T in the ANT model stands for talents. The Sister Tour tapped into the logistical skills and physical labor of local residents to safely manage the daily distribution of this new water supply. This chart plots the staggering scale of the operation. In a compressed 56-day timeline, this small, unfunded group generated and distributed 20,000 gallons of clean water directly to their neighbors. Those 56 days serve as absolute proof of concept. Even under total systemic neglect, autonomous, community-controlled water sovereignty is entirely possible. The Flint water distribution was not the conclusion of the Sister Tour's work. It became the launchpad for a scalable organizing curriculum. They translated their survival tactics into formal educational workshops, taking the ANT model directly into classrooms to teach community organizing to students at institutions like the Interlochen Center for the Arts. They also expanded into collective economics, launching a fair trade Congolese coffee line that actively funds international humanitarian relief efforts. Every piece of this expanding movement traces back to Amber's initial trauma. The terror of losing contact with her child during Hurricane Maria forged the fierce, protective engine that now drives this collective globally. The ultimate defense against environmental racism and climate displacement isn't found in waiting for a new government policy. It is built from the unbreakable resilience of mothers, artists, and communities who simply choose to protect each other.